Detach yourself from the outcome. Be present. Have fun. Life is so beautiful, and a lot of times we are blocking our own blessings and we're blocking that clarity because of all of these ideas, this outside noise, all of these opinions and structures that society has taught us. When in reality, we have so much power and intuition that has led us to where we are today. What's up, y'all? It's Justin P. Etienne, and I'm back with another episode. I'm starting to become more excited to get in front of the camera to talk to y'all because I know that we are able to build a community and just talk about things that we go through. And sometimes it could get lonely out here, especially when you're creative. So I just wanted to be able to start off with just focusing on ourselves and being kind. This episode is going to be very focused on being kind to yourself. Also moving with grace and ease this year. You don't have to put so much pressure on yourself and beat yourself up if you're not able to achieve the things that you want. We have to take the time out to show gratitude for all the things that we have around us. Us even being able to connect on this platform is such a great thing. So a lot of times to start off my day, I like to give myself a little gratitude and write in my journal of the things that I'm thankful for, maybe like 3 to 5 things just to start off, even something small. Like, I'm thankful that I have the freedom to express. I'm thankful for me having clothes on my back. I'm thankful for having a creative mind. I'm thankful for being able to eat. I'm thankful for having a roof over my head. You know, starting off your day like that, it really matters, yo, because a lot of times when we get frustrated and things aren't going the way we want it to, we're just so focused on what we don't have, what we lack. And once you start conditioning yourself to get into that rhythm, you start to overlook the good things that you have. And to start off, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not perfect at all. I really just want to show you the nitty gritty of everything in my life that I'm experiencing, and what I feel within myself. I want to be able to motivate, uplift, and inspire you to be the best version of yourself, because a lot of times, especially when we're in a negative environment, we don't have people around us to kind of guide us in that direction. And just having that support system is very crucial, yo. And I want you to be able to achieve your goals this year as well. So as some of you may know, I just recently started going to the chiropractor. My chiropractor's wife also does acupuncture. It is really amazing. And I was talking to her about the threshold of stress and stress in the body. And I'm not gonna lie, yo, I put so much stress on myself from my life and just some obstacles that I've been through. When I was in school and college, I was putting so much pressure on myself to be the best that I could be. And I had to take advantage of certain opportunities in order to put myself ahead. And it's cool, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of stepped into a rhythm, a hypnotic rhythm of just wanting to work hard out of fear, right? I just wanted to be the best that I can be, or strive towards the Justin that I want to become, because I was afraid of failing. I'm a very positive person. I try to be there for the people I care for as much as possible. And I always want people to be the best versions of themselves. But a lot of times, society lately has taught us that toxic positivity is the way and you're always supposed to be positive. No, I'm literally learning that when I feel negative emotions, or when I feel like I'm not my best self, it's okay to lean into those emotions. And I think a lot of times, many people around me have told me, yo, if you're having a bad day, don't say that. Don't talk to yourself like that. Don't say that out loud. You're supposed to only speak positive. I'm gonna give you an example. So I recently just started getting back into sewing again, and I took a little break just to focus on my health and get back on track with all of that. And I was sewing, and for some reason I'm designing a pair of pants that I've never really done before, and the style lines that I'm doing are very intricate. And I was getting so frustrated, yo. Like, I was so angry because I'm like, yo, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? You've been sewing for so long. You shouldn't be making these simple mistakes. Yo, I'm mad frustrated right now because I made the mistake of cutting the pieces out. I didn't mark them, and now that I put the pieces together, they kind of got a little discombobulated. So the order of the pieces is like out of whack, and I'm like kind of tight right now because it's not coming out the way that I drew it. So this is real life of what it's like to. Alright, now I think I'm calling it a night because I'm starting to get upset. So this is how the pants are supposed to look, right? Clean. But guess what? I did it on the wrong side, and I had serged the outside of the pant. Now it looks tacky. And I'm like, yo, why am I making all these mistakes, bro? But see, that's the ego. I'm like judging myself. I gotta sit back. I gotta pre myself, like, yo, just relax. So I'm taking a break. Like, I'm probably done for the night, honestly. Damn. Oh. Yo, it's these things when you're a designer. It just makes you like, yo, it just makes you feel like, why am I doing this? We might not realize it, but a lot of times that causes self-sabotage. That causes our happiness to decrease. It takes away the fun from what you're doing. I was telling myself I want to take a break, but part of me was like, nah, you're not taking a break. You're gonna keep going until you get it right. And I kept messing up. And I was like, yo, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. And I started feeling the stress in my body. Like, no lie, I was feeling, my blood just started feeling heavy. I started feeling hot. Like, I started getting anxiety, and I started feeling it in my body, and I don't like feeling like that. So I was talking to the doctor. I was just telling her what I feel when I'm stressed out, and she told me to ask myself a question. And I want you all to do the same too when you're feeling frustrated in your life. What are the things that you're telling yourself, and what are the lies being told in that moment? And I sat there for a moment. I realized that I was basically correlating my mistakes with the idea of my future self. I realized, I was like, yo, why are you being so mean to yourself right now? And a good example that the doctor gave me was, if you have somebody you care about, like your sibling, for example, your little sibling. If you had a little cousin, a little sister, your girlfriend, and you were helping them out with something, you were showing them how to do something, and they kept messing up. Are you going to curse them out? Are you going to tell them, you're dumb, you're so stupid, you don't know how to do this, what's wrong with you, you should have never did this, you should have never started? Nah, like, I told him, like, nah, I would never do that. And he's like, what would you tell them if you talk to them like that? And I was like, you know, mistakes, it's okay to make mistakes, and it's fine that, you know, you're learning. Just embrace the process right now. And he was like, that's what you're gonna tell them after you just yelled at them like that? And I was like, nah. He was like, you're gonna apologize, right? And I said, of course I'd apologize. But I would never even do that in the first place. He said, okay, stop right there. If you're willing to speak kindly to somebody else that you care about, or somebody younger than you, or somebody who's learning from you, and you wouldn't talk to them in that tone of voice, why would you talk to yourself like that? And I sat there and I was like, I don't know. It's so much, right? It's so much easier to be kind to somebody else if you're a kind person, obviously. But for ourselves, we put so much pressure that we don't even get to enjoy the process. Like, the act of me even making the clothes in itself is a beautiful thing. I'm expressing myself. I'm freeing myself. I'm choosing to do this. Nobody's forcing me to do this. But yet I'm still bashing myself because I feel like I'm not good enough. And what does that equate to? The unrealistic idea of perfection. And I had to learn in the past couple years that perfection is not real. What are we basing perfection off of? Are we basing it off of the things we see on social media? Are we hearing it based off of fantasies? Are we looking at TV shows? Are we hearing success stories and just people are just kind of cutting out the obstacles that they've went through, and we're just comparing ourselves? See, comparison is a thief of joy. So I'm learning that I can't compare myself to other people. I can't compare myself to other designers. I'm not going to compare myself to people around me because you don't know what they got going on. A lot of times people show you what they want to show you. I'm building off a lot of ideas right now, so bear with me. But going back to the concept of beating myself up, I asked myself, why do you start to feel that in your body? I'm asking myself, why do I start to feel stress, or why do I start to worry? I realized in those moments of stress, right, it's okay to start thinking about the bad things that could go wrong, because that just means you care. You care about yourself. We just have to approach it and change the perspective. It's all about perspective shift. I'm learning to ask myself, am I gonna fail? If I mess these pants up, does that mean I'm not a good fashion designer? If I mess these pants up, are people gonna judge me? Am I gonna feel sad about that? No. If I mess these pants up, am I gonna lose my house? If I mess these pants up, am I not gonna be able to eat a meal? No. And we have to be realistic with these answers. Sometimes it's okay to think worst case scenario, but I'm realizing that once I accept what I'm afraid of, I'm able to move forward with grace because nothing can haunt me anymore. As opposed to, I'm expressing how I feel that I'm frustrated and somebody's like, don't talk like that, don't say that, you should be positive, you shouldn't be da. I'm like, all right, cool, let me go back to someone and just get right to it. Internally, I start feeling those emotions because I'm not acknowledging them in my mind. They start to come here. And once they go there, I start to equate this feeling with what I'm doing. And that's not right. But once I tell myself that I don't want to be mediocre as a designer or any creative or entrepreneur, business owner, whatever, you don't want to be mediocre. And in tangent, some people don't have the motivation to even start. But oftentimes, it's just the concept of fear. You're scared to be judged. You're scared to feel misunderstood. You're scared that people are gonna ridicule you. You're scared that you might not be good enough. I want you to ask yourself this question. Remove any title that you have of yourself. If you're a fashion designer, if you're a music artist, if you're an employee for a company, whatever your title is, whatever you love to do, remove that title for a second. If I got these things taken away from me, if I failed so bad to the point where I can't turn back, who will I be inside? Who are you? Like, who are you without that title of a CEO, a marketing manager, an assistant, a designer? Who are you? Like, I'm Justin, right? I'm Justin P. Etienne. Without design, without music, who am I? Write down your name and say, Justin is an individual who X, Y, and Z. I feel joy from X, Y, and Z. I love to X, Y, and Z. And when you start formulating these ideas around your identity within, you start to realize that everything else on the outside is just an extension of yourself. I should have never been basing my self-esteem off of my work as a fashion designer, because I'm more than that. I have different roles in different areas of my life. So should I allow my mistake today on the sewing machine to depict how I feel about myself when I step on a basketball court? Or when I step into a room with my friends? Or when I go out and network with people, or I have an interview, I don't feel good about myself because I made a mistake. No, you're supposed to detach yourself from that. Detach yourself from the outcome. Be present. Have fun. Life is so beautiful, and a lot of times we are blocking our own blessings, and we're blocking that clarity because of all of these ideas, this outside noise, all of these opinions and structures that society has taught us. When in reality, we have so much power and intuition that has led us to where we are today. And a lot of times, if you really pay attention to the accomplishments that you have in your life, like I said, not just from the materialistic standpoint, but within yourself, all the things that you went through, all the adversity that you've broken through, you're gonna realize how powerful you are, yo. I'm telling you. Lastly, for this part, I wanna remind you that it's okay to feel unmotivated. When I feel unmotivated, sometimes I feel bad that I don't have the desire to get up and do certain things. And that's okay. James Clear said it best. I love James Clear. I love his ideas. He wrote the book Atomic Habits. You should definitely read it. James Clear said in a recent interview that there are different seasons for different things. And that hit me. Because he said a lot of times we like to take our old habits from different time periods in the past and bring them into the now. Right now it's January, so this is my time to plot. I'm focusing on my health. I'm coming up with systems so that I'm able to step into the best version that I can be for myself. I want to be consistent on YouTube. I want to post at least once a week on YouTube and provide valuable content for you so I can help you. But if I go out networking and events all the time like I was last summer, I'm not going to be the best version I can be for myself right now for you and for myself. When you start structuring your schedule or your ideas based off of the season that you're in, you're going to start to be able to see differences and patterns in your life. You may have not had a job and you had so much free time to do what you wanted to do. And now you may be working a 9 to 5, and that's fine too. So if you had all the time in your world to start writing, start sewing, start coming up with ideas, making music, hanging out with friends, whatever, and now you only have 4 hours a day, you're still able to become a better version of yourself. You're still able to accomplish so much by just utilizing 1 hour out of your day to whatever goal that you want to do. And sometimes it's just about shifting the perspective of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. I'm really starting to focus on the fact that it's not always about the goals that allow me to accomplish what I want to do. A lot of times it's who do I want to become? That's what James Clear said. And once you realize and come up with these bullet points or paragraphs or however you want to do it, once you realize the person that you want to become, it's so much easier to shift the things around you in order to become that. So if you want to stay in a positive state of mind, don't spend time talking to negative people. Don't spend time having negative conversations. If you want to spend more time uplifting your confidence, and if you want to start a YouTube channel, start taking videos of yourself on your phone. You don't have to post it. Nobody got to know you're doing it. When I first started making videos on camera, yo, I used to have to tell my girlfriend, Belina, to get out of the room for like an hour, and I couldn't even say one sentence. 2 years ago, I swear. I might even have a recording of it still somewhere. I was talking to the camera and I'm like, yo, I feel so uncomfortable talking to the camera because it feels weird talking to a lens. Nobody's here. Why am I talking to myself? And now I'm able to have a whole conversation on YouTube because I just kept practicing and practicing and practicing. Little by little by little by little. And once you start realizing your growth and you start documenting your accomplishments little by little, it adds up. I'm telling you, it really does. Pivoting from this topic to the next, I just want to share a note that I wrote for myself last year, January 4th, 2021, from a book or a quote. I saw it somewhere, I don't remember where. But I'm going to read it to you just to show you how documenting and writing your ideas out in a journal can help you in the long run. So it says, self-note, breathe easy. Grace will take your mistakes and failures and turn them into something that flourishes and thrives in the world. Yo, I need you to sit with that. Let's have a moment of silence, please. The second one, it says 12:10 p.m. January 5th, 2021. I'm taking things slow. I give myself permission to take things slow and approach life one moment at a time. I'm centered in an atmosphere of peace. You don't gotta be moving around, trying to do things at a fast pace all the time. If you're driving on the highway and you speeding and you on your phone and you're not paying attention, you're trying to figure out where you want to go and you miss that exit, you're spending more time having to come back en route to come around to exit off again. So take your time, yo. Take your time. Ease your way into things. Come up with a system that allows you to be the best version of yourself. And if you fall short, it's okay. The fact is, you're 1% better than you were yesterday, and that's all that matters. So the concept of your inner child. For my brand, my mission statement is JPE challenges the status quo and pushes the youth culture to tap into their inner child. For me, I've gotten to this point in my life because I just tap into my inner child constantly. I'm always looking at things from different perspectives. I'm always just looking to have fun in whatever it is that I'm learning to do. And I'm here to tell you not to take life so serious. Don't take life so serious all the time, yo. We have to have fun. A lot of times we make excuses for ourselves, right? So I'm like, yo, I have a whole book list in my phone of all the books that I want to cop. I want to get a whole bunch of books, probably like 100 plus books is on that list. And I'm telling myself, damn, I have to set money aside to get them over and over. But you can start small. They have audiobooks on YouTube, by the way. But what I did was yesterday, I went to Barnes & Noble for like 2.5 hours.
I'm at Barnes & Noble's right now, and I'm a book junkie, but I'm not trying to cop all of these at one time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down in here and just take a little bit of notes. And this is a good way of getting information without having to pay for it. So I'm going to do that. I'm getting books on like business and creativity. And I feel like the more that I come here, I'm going to pick up new books. But I'm like overwhelmed because I got a whole bunch of books in my hand right now. But I feel good today. It's really important to look up information and get new insights on different things.
I was walking around, I took some books out, and I sat in the Starbucks. And there was like 4 books in front of me, and I picked up one book, and it was called Essentialism. And just to show you that I'm not just speaking from a place of I know it all, I just wrote this yesterday in Barnes & Noble's in my journal. Wrong journal. I want to tell you what it said about having fun. I'm going to read this chapter to you. Bear with me. It says, embrace the wisdom of your inner child. And it's crazy because I had my mission statement and I came across this and it just connected. And that just comes to show you got to pay attention to the things that's going on around you. You got to pay attention to the information that's in front of you because you could apply it for everything. So it says, the majority of us were not formally taught how to play when we were children. We picked it up natively and instinctively. As we get older, we are introduced to the idea that play is trivial. Play is a waste of time. Play is unnecessary. Play is childish. Unfortunately, many of these negative messages come from a place where imaginative play should be most encouraged, not stifled. Playful culture sparks true exploration. Modern corporations were born out of the Industrial Revolution when their reason for being was to achieve efficiency in the mass production of goods. We're taking these systems and applying them to ourselves as an individual, as an artist, as a creator. It's not gonna work. Why do you think we feel so much friction? I want to start sewing lessons. I want to learn how to do nails. I want to start cooking. I want to start taking sewing classes. But I don't have any time because I have work. Work is important. Oh, I can't watch my favorite show to get inspiration for this new drawing that I want to do. You're not supposed to watch TV because all the millionaires say that we're not supposed to watch TV. It's up to your discretion of what you're utilizing your experiences for. What? Yo, you know how many movies I've watched or shows that I've watched where I got inspiration of an outfit and I just got up and I started sewing something, a military movie but yet people say don't watch TV, it's not good for you. For you, it's not. For me, it's different. I don't have to base my ideas based off what you got going on. I don't have to base my ideas off all of these structures all the time. These early managers looked to the military, a rather less playful entity, for their inspiration. So it says, when we play, We are engaged in the purest expression of our humanity, our truest expression of our individuality. Oftentimes, we feel most alive and we make the best memories from play. A lot of the best memories that you've had in your life was because you were playing, you had fun, you went on a nice vacation, you had a powerful conversation with somebody that gave you clarity. You were playing a game when you were a kid. You were playing tag with your friends. You were playing... I remember the old days when we was young, we used to play outside all day long, and now we can't do that anymore. Oh, I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. You gotta make time for it. Play broadens the range of the options available to us. It helps us see the possibilities we overthink or wouldn't have seen, and make connections we wouldn't have otherwise made. It opens up our minds, broadens our perspectives. It helps us challenge old assumptions and makes us more receptive to untested ideas. This is something that I remember from the book myself, like naturally. It was a study that grizzly bears who play a lot more than other grizzly bears have a longer lifespan. It's so important because happiness and joy is an emotion that we feel. We shouldn't have to shut it off completely because of specific things that's going on in our lives. I'm not saying that you have to make fun a priority at all times, but you have to squeeze it in, just like you squeeze in a meal, just like you squeeze in listening to your friend vent about a problem that they're going through, you know? And it was saying that a lot of times when you feel stressed, the reason why you may continue to have a bad day is because you're not doing anything to lighten the mood of what you're experiencing. So when you're stressed out, you might lose your keys, or you might bump into something or spill a drink, and then you associate that with, I'm having a bad day. So stress increases the activity in the part of the brain that monitors our emotions, which is the amygdala, which is why we make bad decisions, we might forget our keys. And then it decreases the part of the brain called the hippocampus, and it causes us to not think clearly. A lot of times people experience negative things when they're in a rush, you know, so you gotta slow down. So when I start feeling that tension and I start feeling stressed from my day, sometimes I'll just draw. I'll just sketch in my book, or I'll listen to some music that allows me to connect to whatever it is that I'm doing. And honestly, try this out. When you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling like you're not thinking clearly, take a moment to just do something kind for yourself. Do something small. There's no rule that says you have to do things a specific way. Try something that you've always wanted to do before. Look up a video of how to start doing X, Y, and Z and just jump into it. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the idea of other people's emotions pouring into your life. It's hard when you're around negative people. Trust me. I've done seen it all. I've done been around so much people that tried to hold me back. I even had family members tell me that I shouldn't even step into the fashion industry because it wasn't practical and I'm not gonna be successful in it, and I'm not gonna be able to get a good job, and I'm not gonna make money in it. And honestly, it was really hard, but you just gotta embrace your ideas. And honestly, when they told me that, it just sparked something within me, because I'm like, yo, I'm in control of my life, so I'm about to just do what I want to do. The fact that you're telling me that I shouldn't do it is just pushing me to do it even more. You're gonna always come across negative people. You're gonna come across people who push you down, but it's really good to set boundaries for yourself. And I'm learning that sometimes when people are forcing their energy on you and they're trying to project, and you start feeling like, damn, I don't deserve this, and you just gotta come from a place of love and understanding that they've experienced so much in their life and so much pain that they just want to project that onto somebody else. I can't stress this more enough, yo. You matter, you're very important, and you have to remind yourself of that, because not everybody's gonna do that for you. And you should also set boundaries in terms of helping people all the time, right? For example, there's a concept of a man who has a lawn. He has a house, and another person has a house. So the guy waters his grass every day. His grass is green. His neighbor's grass is brown, it's dead. He never waters it, he just leaves it alone. Now imagine the person who waters his grass is like, yo, my neighbor's grass is not really doing too well. Let me take my sprinkler and put it on his grass, and let me water his grass for him every single day. I want to help him, I want to make it be better. And then he takes his sprinkler, puts it on his grass, and his grass starts to become green. Over time, originally his own grass starts to die because he's focused on his grass. These are the things that happen now. One, he's enabling his neighbor to become accustomed to not doing the work of watering his own grass. So he said, oh, somebody else will do it for me, cool. Somebody else will do it for me, cool. Bet. I'm gonna go to the club, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends, and he could just do it for me. Now your grass is not even taken care of, and your grass is dead now. It's a small analogy, but it's just the concept of you pouring to somebody else who's not reciprocating the energy back into you, and you start to lose something. And once you start losing that power within yourself, it's hard to get it back. And a lot of us are in that place right now. There were times where I've allowed myself to be immersed in somebody else's bullshit. I'm not saying I can't help people, but you gotta help yourself first. If you pour water to somebody else's cup, you don't got no water for yourself, what you gonna do? Because a lot of times, people's not gonna come around and save you. They're gonna focus on what they got going on too. It's all about balance. Like I said, you gotta be kind to yourself though. You gotta know when to walk away, when to say no. Sometimes we just say yes to things just because we wanna let the other person be happy. It's like, oh, I don't wanna disappoint them. But what about your goals? What about yourself? What about the version of you that you see in 2024? What are the things that you need to do to get there? And who are the people, or what are the things stopping you from achieving that? Today was just a rant. I wanted to just express myself to you. I wanted to uplift you and remind you that you have the power inside of you. The fact that you're even able to watch this YouTube video is a sign in itself that you could do whatever you want, yo. Forget their ideas and perceptions of who you are if you choose to do what makes you happy. As long as you're not causing harm to people and putting people down and you just minding your business and doing your thing, yo, just stay the course. Had I had given up on my dreams, on fashion, on being a creative, I would have been so miserable, and it's so much easier to project that energy onto somebody else. Of course, if somebody comes in the room and they're doing what they love, it could cause some type of envy, or it could just make you feel like, damn, like I wish I was able to do that. When I was younger, I was able to do that, but I couldn't do this because of X, Y, and Z. Sometimes you just gotta say, forget it, yo. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe in what I got going on, I'm gonna go where the people appreciate me and where they believe in me. And if nobody believes in you, you got yourself. Follow your intuition. All the steps that you take, that voice or that energy that bumps you in the right direction every time, that's called your intuition, yo. You gotta follow that. So today, I just want to say thank you for sitting with me. This is my domain right here. I got my diffuser going. I think eucalyptus and lavender. Yeah. No, peppermint and lavender. Mad good. I got my candle. Find yourself a routine that allows you to get into a safe space after a long day. And remember, baby steps matter. And lastly, subscribe to the channel if you want to gain more insight, if you want to have more of these talks with me. Leave a comment on whatever topics you want to have discussions about. And I'm mad excited to share the next episode that I'm about to do. It's about to be lit. I'm actually designing a pair of pants inspired by something. It's a shoe. And I'm mad excited to step into my collection. I'm going to be breaking down the process and all that too. So stay tuned for that. And I'm so happy that I was able to talk with you all today. I appreciate y'all, yo. And have an amazing week.